Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Yeah. Oh, weird. The sound's coming out of my
Oh,
computer. Okay. I
what?
mean, this is fine for me, but
Okay. This works.
I want it to be in my headphones, though.
Um, if you do you have more at the top? And then I think if you do device settings.
Oh.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
then
That's where I would
audio.
go.
Oh my gosh. Thanks though. Wow, that all took a really long time to load.
Christy, this IT issue, make this a P1. Jump on this immediately. We need this user back up and running.
We've
This
noticed
moron
that the
can't get his
client is.
headphones to work. Let's try the unplug and the plug back in.
We've noticed.
Client is at risk.
We've noticed the user is using old equipment. Why have we not replaced this?
Oh, that had me cracking up. That had me cracking up this morning. He was like.
I don't even remember who he was talking to.
It was probably First Financial with their 12-year-old servers, and he goes.
Oh
he's
yeah,
like,
because Felix
like,
is working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, Ridge, why are they using old equipment? Why are they doing that? And I was like,
I'll be right back.
We should, if they have old equipment, they should get new equipment, and then.
yeah. And I was like, and I'm just like,
why did we never think of that? Wow.
And your reaction was funny. Like, I don't remember what you said, but it was like, yes, that's some great insight or something like that.
I think I said something silly like, "Thank you, great savior, for."
Thank you, Prophet. How did you come across such great understanding?
Now that we have you here, we will solve all problems.
Oh no.
We will have so few tickets that we will have to just start firing people, laying them off.
Oh no. I did hear there's a hiring freeze at level 1 and level 2. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was told.
Well, I do know, at least as far as any techs that we're hiring, we're pretty much just going to hire like any level 2 and higher anyway. But I don't know about a free. I don't know about a freeze in general. Like, I know we're still looking for basically a replacement L3. And then we got a guy starting tomorrow, but he's going to be Hitachi's staff aug. Yeah. So.
Well, mind you, this is what Miguel told me. So.
Oh well. It's like not giving me the option to change it.
He got laid off. Miguel got laid off, so he was trying to come back to Novotech. So he contacted Will, and Will's like, nope, we're not hiring level 1 and level 2 right now.
Well, I do. So level 1, true. I do know that we're not really going to be hiring any level 1 anymore. Like, basically everybody kind of needs to have like a level 2 or higher ability, essentially.
I guess so.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if there's any other like remote techs. I say remote, like, you know what I mean. Basically, not like a field tech or a staff aug. Besides an L3, there's kind of no like. We could use probably a few more L2s, but like a for sure L3 is somebody that we need.
Yeah.
Since Mike is doing data center. That's funny. I'm like, when did he get let go? How long ago? You know?
I'm
not
sure. That. Like he got let go from that place that he went to. Then
right
he was
after
doing an internship.
Oh, wait, he got let go from the place he went to after he left Novotech, and then he started an internship.
And then he started an internship to try to get a job that way. and then he was serious. He was like, I want to come back. He was like, I don't have a job. I was like,
yeah, no, I knew he was serious. Yeah, well,
yeah,
I guess that's fair because it sometimes is hard to know whether Miguel is being serious or not.
yeah.
I had no idea that he got let go from the first place, though. What is happening? Oh.
What? Oh no, yeah, he did.
I didn't know. Okay.
And
gotcha. Well, yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah. So, and then like it was weird because he was trying to come to Novatech, Dev was trying to come to Novatech.
Yeah, I
So
remember Dev, and I had told him, I was like, I know we are hiring, I just don't know specifically. So, I was like, you'll have to reach out to Will because he would be the one, but I know we're just definitely trying to find like solid L2 and higher, basically. So at this point. Are you winking? What's happening?
No, what? No, what? No. Why would I do that to this guy with his Spider-Man?
It was to Spider-Man, right?
There he is.
Speaking of winking, so I tried the squinting trick with like the female.
Oh yeah.
So I go like this. I was like, and I slowly squint my eyes, and then she tries to do it, and she's just like, with only one eye.
It's amazing. Hanyo will like do a wink like all the time. Not like sometimes she'll just be sitting there and she's
like
got
that
like
too. His right
one
eye
eye
is always
closed.
like more winky.
Yeah, and we'll either call her Winky or like Pirate Kitty because she looks like she's got a little like
Aww.
Yeah.
They love warm places.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you noticed, but the male jumped into the cabinet and then got on the PS5 since the PS5 is so hot.
It was
and just
so
like,
warm, yeah.
He's like,
so he's like sitting on the PS5, and then the female is like up against the screen watching Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. Exactly.
I am a wizard. So cute.
Thomas, did you beat Hogwarts Legacy?
No, I got very close to beating it and was like, I don't want to beat this yet, and then
I don't want to be done. Do all the side quests
so
and then come back.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm like going through and like finding all the things and doing the side quests.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many side quests too. It's crazy.
I love when they make games like that because it's like, even if you do finish the game, you can go back and just like, oh, I'm going to complete all these things now, but you can still, obviously, even if it was just like you go through the story, you can just play again, but it makes it far more interesting and worth it, I guess, when you do have all these little side quests and things that you can accomplish.
There's a lot of that in Hogwarts. Like all of exploring the castle is a side quest.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
It's so massive. I played the game for like 20 hours and I'm still finding new stuff in the castle, like new rooms.
That's so cool.
Yeah. You'll find whole ass rooms. You'd be like, oh yeah, like there's this one like secret room that has like a bunch of Egyptian hieroglyphics on stones, like on the wall. And
something
I found
new
it after like 30 hours of play. Like, I mean, I had gone over that castle and I was just like, wait, this hallway, I don't think I've ever been down here. And I was like, nope, never been in this room.
I haven't even found that, so that would be new for me too.
Have you been in the room of requirement yet? Have you found
that one?
Been.
Is that
okay,
so that's in the books too?
Yes, it is. It's great.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I thought that was just for the game.
It is a real room. I
keep forgetting that you haven't read the books.
I know, it's exciting.
I was like, wait, what's happening right now?
Okay.
Does it have that like stairwell where the stairs move and they like change?
Yeah.
Is that in the game too?
It's not the same as the movie one, but it's very cool.
But it's the same idea still, that like just because you go up this flight doesn't mean you're going to go to the same place. They could have like moved to
there's like weirdness to it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, I always love that. Like in the book and in the movie, because it's
I found the most interesting was like there's a lot of places in the castle that we're familiar with because we're there a lot in the books and in the movie. But when you think about it, you don't know where it's located. Like
that's
the
true.
teachers, like where the teachers live. Like we don't know where that is. Like
right.
The infirmary, like we don't know where that is.
I don't know
like in
where
relation to
in
other
relation
things.
to everything else. I think the only
yeah.
thing that you really, really know is, and maybe not all of them, but the house like common rooms and
Yeah, like the common room location.
because I know there's like Hufflepuff is near the like the kitchens. But if you don't know where the kitchens are, then
yeah.
Slytherin's
But
like
it does that
in the
too, like
basement or
things that you
something.
don't see in the movies, like Hufflepuff. Like if you know it from the books, you'll be able to figure out where it is. Like it's so
What?
cool.
Really?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super cool.
I haven't even found the kitchen yet.
Yeah, I don't know where I would.
Yeah, the kitchen is
no
actually
idea.
one of my favorite parts of Hogwarts. Like that whole situation and seeing it is really cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's awesome.
Nice. I finally made it into the men's bathroom. I was able to unlock it with Ala Gamora? Alahamora?
Alohomora, I think it's.
Yeah. Whereas Justin and I say it, Alhambra.
Alhambra. Oh, so that's canon too. Like all that is in the books.
The spells, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Though there has to be some that aren't in the books though, like Flipendo.
I would be surprised if in the game they made up spells.
Yeah,
there's quite a bit.
There's no spells in the game that aren't in the book. Well, no.
I would genuinely be shocked if they decided to just make up spells in the game.
Yeah, there's something like 100 spells like throughout the books.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a bunch.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just assumed like Bombarda, Flipendo, Reparo. I was like, surely they just made these up for the game.
Mm-mm.
No, those are all from the books.
Those are real ones.
Oh, okay.
Real. They're real.
Even like some of the weird like transmutation spells that you get in the game are also from the books. Like Evaverto, McGonagall uses that at one time. I can't remember what it does, but
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so what about the animals though? The animals that I keep vacuuming up into my bag, are those
the little
canon
pink
as well?
The pink things? Those are canon, yeah. The like
so the
pygmy puffs are
and the mooncalfs and the Whooper and the Nobberjay, like all those are in the books?
Mooncalf, I don't know if that one's from the books. It might have been in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them because I don't think I read those like small subsidiary books. Which is something I want to do.
So all
those,
that's probably true. Yeah. So I would say all the animals are probably definitely real, but they're probably still coming from the Fantastic Beasts.
Okay.
So yeah, Mooncalf is definitely a magical creature in the Harry Potter series, but it's talked about in Fantastic Beasts. So it's not in the novels, but it's
okay.
But I know the pink pygmy puff things are definitely in the books and the movies.
The booger eating puffballs,
yeah.
Creeps.
And then there's other creatures that they encounter throughout the story, like throughout the books and in the movie as well. But there's going to be way more in Fantastic Beasts for sure.
When I reread the series most recently, I forgot like that the Bowtruckles, which are like the little stick people that like hang out in wand trees, they like are extremely violent. Like
yes, well, remember in is it the 5th book that they encounter the Bowtruckles and they like take over the Defense Against the Dark Arts? Like, maybe it's the 5th one, maybe it's the 4th one. I can't remember, but there's and there's a scene in the movie too where
they get like an infestation of them and they can't like go in they have to like have class somewhere else and it's just like kind of mentioned and it's
they like take over the classroom and they're like wreaking havoc and like picking people up and like hanging them in place. They're just total troublemakers.
What about the Chinese chomping cabbages? Are those real? And the venomous tentacula.
That's gotta be real. I know the venomous tentacula is.
Yeah. Chinese chomping. What is it? Chinese chomping what?
The Chinese chomping cabbage and the mandrake.
The mandrake is definitely real. That's in the books.
Is Miss Garlic real?
So Chinese chomping cabbage. The only thing I'm finding is like how to get seeds and grow it for. Oh wait, hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so it's mentioned in Order of the Phoenix.
It is. Yep. Okay.
Oh, is it? Oh wow.
On the Harry Potter fandom wiki, yeah, it's got a page.
Nice. Is Miss Garlic real? Professor Garlic?
Professor Garlic?
Professor Garlic is so lovely.
I don't even remember that.
I think that's Justin's second, maybe third favorite teacher. Man, they're all really good.
Yeah. I love going to herbology class just because the music there is so relaxing, and then you can collect all the plants and stuff. It's awesome.
And it's beautiful. Like seeing the herbology area from the outside is just like, this is so gorgeous. It's like a side of Hogwarts that you don't usually see in the movies. It's just, this huge wrought iron and glass greenhouse just like sticking out of the side of the castle. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like they're there a lot in the movies, but you're inside. You don't really see it from the outside. It's like on the back of the castle.
Yeah. I like how you can't play Quidditch, and they keep referencing that. They're like, Professor Black banned Quidditch because some kid almost got cut in half on his broom, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, wait, what?
I think it's awesome because, like, Quidditch already is a game that doesn't make too much sense, but trying to make it into a video game version, like, that's not very easy to do.
Oh.
And like trying to incorporate those mechanics inside of a world's engine in a game, I bet is so difficult.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's why they did it and why they poked so much fun at it, because I'm sure that they had a discussion when they were making the game and they're like, Quidditch, they're going to hate it if it's not in. And they were like, we can't put it in the game. It's too hard.
Yeah, it's too difficult. Yeah.
So Professor Garlic's first appearance is Hogwarts Legacy. So she's not technically canon.
Professor Garlic exists. What? Oh my God, that's crazy.
Well, only in the game.
Oh yeah, just in the game.
Her first appearance is Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, okay. I was just freaking out. I thought Legacy was like the name of one of the books. I was like freaking out.
No.
Oh man. Okay. Now I'm disappointed. But like the fact that everything else is canon is so cool.
Yeah, I would guarantee that the majority of it is canon. I mean, I definitely wouldn't compare the level of detail in Harry Potter as far as like the world building to like Tolkien, but it's detailed. I mean, you can go find you can go kind of like how with Tolkien, you can definitely go find like genealogical stuff. You can definitely find that for Harry Potter as well. So
wow.
That's like canon to Harry Potter, not just like I made this up on the fly.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if any of the teachers were mentioned in the books, the exception of Professor Binns, the ghost that teaches history of magic. He's canon. And then the headmaster of Hogwarts is canon. Like it was known that I can't remember his first name, but Professor Black was a headmaster.
Oh yeah, that's
okay. Okay. Interesting. That's so neat. Thomas, I thought it was really funny when you said you were reading, what is it, Piranesi? And I looked at the cover and I was like, oh, there's Mr. Tumnus. And then I looked on the wiki and it turns out that was inspired by Narnia. So it is kind of like Mr. Tumnus.
Also, the first line in the book is a quote from The Magician's Nephew.
What?
That's awesome.
I can't wait to read that.
Oh, It's so good. I'm like I've maybe a chapter left because I don't want to finish it. It's so good. Like I couldn't stop reading it. Like I started reading it after I finished The Magician's Nephew, and like I've had to like keep myself from continuing because I don't want to like read it so quickly. It's a really great story.
I like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Name is familiar to me, Susanna Clark. I wonder if
she wrote Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is a great book. But it's a tome. It's like 800 page thick. And it's a alternate history of England during the Napoleonic Wars. And magic is a thing. And there's two magicians who like rediscover how to actually perform magic as opposed to like sitting around and being English gentlemen discussing magic. It's so dry. It's so dry in English, but if you're into that kind of humor, it's a great book.
Interesting. I mean,
in case there's something that I've like read, I don't know. Okay. Well, I'll have to look her up though.
The name seems so familiar. It's weird because her name seems super familiar, but this is her second book, so that really threw me off too.
Yeah, well, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell was like an instant hit. Like everybody said it was going to be a classic. Everybody loves it. It's very like well respected. Everybody thinks it's good. They made a Netflix special, I think. Maybe it was Netflix. It's not on there anymore. I think it might be on Amazon, but it was really good and it followed to the like heart of the story very well. And it's like a 1-season thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Netflix made it. I think it was a BBC and somebody else deal.
Yep. I remember reading about that. Yeah, it was on the BBC. I should check that out.
It's really good. Yeah.
I love the BBC.
Nice. Like, yeah, I love how they reuse the same actors and actresses, but they're also talented, so you don't mind seeing them again and again in different stories.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't bother me at all. like if they're good, then they're
Are you
good,
a Downton Abbey fan? Either of you? Have we talked about that?
I still have never watched Downton Abbey, but it is on the. And it's been on the list forever. But
it's one of those,
it is on the list.
I don't even have to encourage you because you'll watch one episode and then I won't see you.
I'm gonna love. I love almost anything British. And especially if it's British period pieces. So I will definitely watch it. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but yeah.
I haven't watched any of it. I've heard really good things, but totally down to watch and discuss for sure.
Justin had never seen it either, so then I started rewatching it, and it's funny because like he didn't poo-poo it, but it just wasn't something that would usually line up with his interests, and like he got invested. He really enjoyed it. It's
I can totally see that.
Anything Maggie Smith is in is just made of gold. So
if it's sucked in Justin, that's saying something.
Yeah.
Totally responding to stuff, so I apologize.
Oh no, you're still working?
No, I'm not working, but I'm just responding to something because I have information that somebody does not have, apparently. I don't know.
No. Yeah, I thought about opening my email just to see how bad it was, and I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not even going to touch my email.
Christy's a manager now of something, quality. A manager of quality.
Of quality assurance. It's not all that different than what I'm doing right now. So there's like a few different things, a couple of things that I'll be doing that are different, like identifying trends and doing something about it.
This server
doesn't involve hiring more people to share the workload.
Wait. I got it. This server keeps going down. Perhaps it is old. Perhaps it needs to be replaced. Genius.
Check. Solved.
Done. How did you guys not think of this?
I am amazing.
I am amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. On you. Anya's here. She's visiting.
I want to read a passage from the Bible since this is a Bible study group.
Okay.
You guys ready to hear from the good book?
Yes, I am ready.
So, thinking of Magician's Nephew, and then I'm going to read from Numbers. So, let me know if this reminds you of anything. I could be completely off. I could be way off, just grasping at straws here. But tell me if
you're probably not, because especially when you get through Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, the like Bible parallels, especially with that one, but even with their other books, are like insane. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So Numbers chapter 22, verses 21 to 39. I'm not going to read all those. Let's skip ahead. So the setting is Balaam. So Balaam is riding the donkey, and it says in verse 27, so when the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, it laid down under Balaam, and he was angry and beat it with his staff. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth and said to Balaam, what have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times? Balaam answered the donkey, you have made a fool of me. If only I had a sword in my hand, I would kill you right now. The donkey said to Balaam, am I not your own donkey, which you have always ridden to this day? Have I been in the habit of doing this to you? So they have this discussion. Does that passage from Numbers remind you of anything from Magician's Nephew at all?
It makes me think of Dear Strawberry.
Yeah,
And Strawberry was
there's
like,
the cabbie
oh yeah, I do
being
recognize you.
struck, right? Because he's yeah. Okay.
And then suddenly Strawberry can talk.
Right.
And then Strawberry's like, why are you beating me so much, Cabbie? And he was like, we both need it to work. You know how it goes. Didn't I feed you oats?
I had a job to do. Yeah.
It was so interesting. That's probably the part in the book that I had the biggest difference in how I reacted to it as an adult to a kid. Because everything else, like, you know, I kind of like remembered and expected. But when I read the conversation between the cabbie and Strawberry, I was like, oh shit, like Strawberry might trample him to death. Like I know Strawberry doesn't.
And I don't think anybody would like totally blame him, you know?
Yeah.
He definitely was like, yeah, I remember you. You're an asshole.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you.
Do you think I'm correct? Do you think that was a parallel that he drew between those two stories? Because it seems so coincidental to me.
Yeah, no, I would.
Yeah, I don't think it's coincidental. I think it's C.S. Lewis. Like,
yeah, you know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I thought it was very obvious where there's like the walled garden with the silver apples. And that was another thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys. So I believe in the Garden of Eden, in the Bible at least, they don't specify what the forbidden fruit is, right? It's just fruit, right? But a lot of people always assume that it was an apple. And I almost wonder if because of Magician's Nephew and the story, if that's why people get confused and think it's like actually an apple in the Bible.
Does it not actually say in any Bible anywhere in any translation that it's an apple?
Because
even as a kid, I learned it was an apple like long before I ever read Magician's Nephew.
I could be totally wrong about that.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know either. I have no clue. I'm curious about that because I feel like I always thought it was an apple as well, but I didn't.
I feel like it's been historically like represented as an apple. I'm trying to see if there's any.
Maybe just represented though. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think in the Bible it actually alludes at one point that the fruit was more of a vine.
Rather than a tree. Okay,
really?
Interesting. Which kind of would make more sense given the area that they would historically be in right?
Yeah, and God specifically says, like, it's on this
there.
tree, you don't eat it. But I felt like there was something in Genesis that, like, referred to it as also being on a vine. It's been a long time. Trying to find if there's any, like, art, like, historically, like,
could be, I don't know,
the books
yeah,
that, like
some Renaissance art or something.
Mm-hmm. So from gotquestions.org, nowhere is the identity of the forbidden fruit given in Scripture. Some speculate it may have been an apple. It makes me giggle, the thought that like with Christy, she was like, oh yeah, I just assumed it was an apple. And it's like, so did C.S. Lewis shape like the zeitgeist of humans, and so we all just think it was an apple when in reality we
but I
in
feel
the
like I
source.
was taught it was an apple, like literally
Really?
in school. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I feel like it's strange that teachers and parents and family would all be getting this from Magician's Nephew, though.
That's true. That's a good point. Maybe it goes back even further.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious where apple came from.
Yeah.
And then C.S. Lewis was taught that or whatever, and then
Oh, that's a good point.
So that's sort of why he wrote that into Magician's Nephew.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't think about it from that perspective. So maybe that's what C.S. Lewis taught as well. So how far back do you have to go to figure out where people started thinking it was an apple?
I honestly, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with some sort of Renaissance art.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I also saw something that said that
something like that.
Was it in Latin, malum is apple and malum is evil? So maybe that's where the connotation came from.
Okay. And see, that's kind of what I was wondering too, if maybe they're like different translation, there's always going to be different translations and they're going to sort of interpret things different ways. So maybe like one translation just outright says apple, but then or maybe it just says tree, and as far as like fruit growing on trees.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of different kinds of fruit that grow on trees, but not just apples. But I don't know.
The forbidden watermelon.
The forbidden orange. Wait, don't watermelons grow on vines? Right?
Yeah.
Don't watermelons grow on vines? I think they do.
Oh yeah, it could have been the forbidden watermelon.
Well, that's true. I guess so I feel like I was always taught it was a tree, and then on that tree was an apple.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Yeah, that's the way I always understood it.
I mean, it would be like one of the first like Bible stories you're even taught, right? So
little old going back on sorry.
To me, it's fascinating because it's so culturally accepted that it's just an apple. So everyone just assumes that it says apple, but it never actually does, which is so fascinating to me. It's kind of like it's its own Mandela effect.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the Mandela effect,
where everyone's just like, oh yeah, it's an apple, right? And you're like, it actually doesn't say that, and they're like, are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't say apple?
Then you're like, join our Bible study.
It's kind of like everybody saying and somehow remembering that Darth Vader says, Luke, I am your father, when he actually doesn't. Right? Even though that's a much more, in my opinion, a much more powerful line.
Yeah.
To say his name, and he just says, no, I am your father. I don't know, that doesn't have as much like power behind it.
As much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so weird, right?
Oh yeah. I was reading the Magician's Nephew, Lion Witch of the Wardrobe at lunch, and I found this like amazing passage, so I cut and pasted it.
Oh yeah, I read that.
Did you read it?
Yeah.
Wait, I remember you posting it, and then I didn't...
Peter, don't sit there.
Okay, I'm glad you read it, Thomas. I was like,
it's getting wetter
reading that
every
passage.
minute.
I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
They're so mean to Lucy. They're such jerks to Lucy.
Yeah, they are. In the beginning,
I remember that from
they're like,
when I was
she's
a
just
kid.
a
I
little
remember
kid.
them like poo-pooing her, and I was like,
she doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
also something I really appreciated, because I just started it this afternoon. I've only read the first chapter. But I love how quickly he gets into the story. I mean, first chapter, Lucy's walking into Narnia.
Oh yeah,
and I really
within
like
the second page, she's like already in Narnia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember it being so quick, but yeah, I like that too.
Also, there's an island on the map called Terabithia. Wasn't there something called Bridge to Terabithia? I remember seeing that.
There's a bridge to Terabithia, no N though.
Okay, so they're not related. I was like, is there this tangent thing I don't know about?
Yeah, and I think actually it's either in Prince Caspian or Voyage of the Dawn Treader that that I believe they like Terabithia shows up basically.
Like they go there. That sounds like Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
I believe so, but it's probably Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
What a great book title too. When I was a kid, that was my favorite one because it was like the most exciting.
Yeah, because they're on this mission. They're like sailing the seas, and yeah, it's great.
As a person who hasn't read all 7 books, I'm super curious to see if it stays with these 4 children, like Lucy, Edmund, Susan, and Peter? Question mark?
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see if it like continues on with them, because I was half expecting Diggory to show back up, but I don't think he is at this point.
I love
don't think
Diggory.
Yeah.
No, because
I don't
Diggory
believe. I believe they only show up in Magician's Nephew.
Is the professor.
That is true though. Diggory is the professor. Though.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The professor in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is Diggory.
Yeah. So in Magician's Nephew, towards the end, it says Diggory eventually moves out to the countryside and has this giant like house and estate and whatever, and that's where he builds the wardrobe out of the fallen tree, and then
oh wow.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
It is Diggory. They just don't call him Diggory.
They just call him the professor.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. So they've already encountered him then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and probably they don't call him Diggory because he wrote Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe first. Like they don't ever like even hint that it's Diggory in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe because that one was written first, and he didn't really sort of conceive of the Magician's Nephew until like almost the very end, basically.
Okay. That's making me want to just read like all 7 books and just go through all of them so I can complete them.
Yeah, they're great.
They're great.
We should totally do it.
We should definitely do this.
I don't want to steer the group in like a certain direction.
No, I was going to go ahead and order the 3rd one because this arrived today and I ordered it last Tuesday.
Might as well. Yeah. It'll make it right on time. Which I believe.
I get such a nostalgic feeling reading them because it has those like little pictures, and it reminds me of when I was like 10 and reading Sherlock Holmes, and it has like the little pictures.
Yeah.
Or Huckleberry Finn, and it has the little pictures.
I like when there's pictures in books. I think most books should have pictures.
Yeah.
They should have something.
They should have had an artist that collaborated with the writer to have pictures in their books. I think that's
a good
thing.
That.
Yeah.
Also, the copy I got has colored pictures, and I've never seen.
I've never
these
seen
ones
colored either.
You have color? You
have
color?
Is it blurring it out? Let me turn off
a little bit, but I had a quick glance on it though. That's awesome. Yeah, mine are just black and white.
Effects and avatars.
Mine are just black and white.
Did it turn off? Is the blur still on? I just turned it off.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, I didn't hit apply.
No.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's so yellow.
Yeah, you're right.
I love it.
Yeah.
They
did add color.
Okay, that's awesome. Let me see if I can find. I don't know if I. Oh no, I do have a lamppost.
Like there's all these at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's so cool because I've never seen them with color before.
Oh gosh.
Oh
gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah, you can see.
Oh god.
It's the lamppost.
Yeah. There it is. Okay.
For the most part.
Okay, I think
it's just black and white though.
I think I have different art in my book.
So my art is by. Well, that's the cover art. It says.
This is the full color collector's edition.
Thomas, you're so rich.
Got illustrated in color by Pauline Baines.
Oh, that's what I have. Okay, mine is illustrated by Pauline Baines as well. They're just black and white though.
Oh. My illustrations are different from both of you guys.
Interesting.
Does it say who?
It's like it's on my desk right now. And they're like some of them are pretty ghetto. Like they're like they look like they're from 50 years ago.
I'm gonna look up Ghetto Lion the Witch.
I mean, I want to. I honestly want to say the Pauline Baines ones are probably. I hesitate to say original ones, but I want to say these are the same drawings in the books that I grew up reading, which are from the 70s.
Yeah,
I know mine are. I recognize all these.
So
drawings.
yeah, I do too. They're all familiar to me.
So
yeah,
if you go back to chapter 2 and then you look in the chat, so I took a picture of what I was seeing in my book from the start of chapter 2. Is that what you guys see?
Where in the chat? Did you put it?
The We Stay Reading chat. It's like yesterday 242. Is that what you guys have?
That looks like a larger image of the lantern that we showed you.
Yeah, I don't have that at the. So yours is at the sitting at the top of the chapter. I don't have a. None of the pictures that I have are like at the top of above a chapter, like where the chapter starts.
Oh,
but
interesting.
Yeah, that's slightly different from mine, but also very similar.
Yeah, same.
Like almost like she redrew it. Like smaller,
because it does look like the same artist. Like here, Thomas, you have these in your book too, right? At the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have
those. You're just color. I do have this one in chapter 2. This one's kind of cool on chapter 2. Oh gosh. Maybe I should turn off. Gosh. Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Show us your dirty house. Show us the dirty house.
You're probably not really going to be able to see anything anyway.
It's so dirty.
Just a bunch of crap sitting right there.
Wall.
But
what a mess.
What
is that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that picture.
That's so beautiful.
It's Mr. Thomas and Lucy walking through the woods, and he's got his umbrella.
That's amazing.
Mr. Thomas, you yellow bastard.
But I like the art the art on yours doesn't look good to me. I like it.
Yeah, so I found that same one in mine. I do have it.
Oh, really? You do?
Yeah.
What page is
21.
Oh yeah. Okay, nice. But it looks.
Oh,
It
I
looks
have it
like
too.
better. It looks better somehow.
There's mine.
Nice.
I have it too. I think probably
I like it.
has color to it.
What about chapter 4? Does it look kind of like this ghetto drawing of a witch riding up in a sled?
No, Turkish Delight.
I think it's called Turkish Delight is the name of the chapter.
I love this one. Yeah.
Let me see. I don't have any.
Oh, mine's totally different.
Yeah?
Well,
what page is that? Because I don't have that.
Yeah.
That's page 32. It's right before chapter 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yours is larger.
Oh, yeah.
It's color.
Got that too. Same thing.
Yeah, I've got like this much smaller, like more crudely done version.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's almost like she did redraw it. Like maybe originally it was the drawings were more crude and then she did go back and redraw them.
Possibly, yeah. Because the art, like the ones that you have, the style looks the same to me.
Yeah,
so it could have been
very
that she just
similar.
Yeah. Where are you at in the book, Jeremy?
Like end of chapter 5, I think.
Okay, so you have met the White Witch then.
Yes.
And you know who she is.
Turkish Delight.
And you know who she is then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, I mean, that one's a little bit more obvious than Diggory being the professor. But
yeah.
Okay.
And Edmund is obsessed with her Turkish Delight.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, let me get another hit. Just a little bit more of your magic candy.
Delight me the way the Turks like it. What is Turkish Delight?
Yeah.
I've looked this up before.
We had so when we read Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe in 4th grade in class.
Aww.
After the book, we watched, I don't think the live action movie was out, but there's like a animated version of it, I believe. So we watched that, and then somebody like brought in actual Turkish Delight and like pass it around the class, and we tried some and whatever. It's an interesting, it's like a candy more than anything. It's interesting though. I don't know if I don't remember liking it all that much.
Yeah, it's like a weird candy jello.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a weird kind of texture and yeah.
Flavored with rose water and mastic gum and bergamot lemon.
And I want to say that it is actually like.
Isn't it like a poor person's like treat too?
Did you say is it a poor person's treat?
That's exactly what I said.
Boo.
I didn't like
no
it,
poor people treats.
Like you hand out to the poor people, like when they come across you, and you're like, "Here's a Turkish Delight.
There's Turkish Delight.
Get off my lawn."
You give them a Turkish Delight, and then they flee from you and never beg again.
In the movie, it looks really good. It like makes me want Turkish Delight.
Yeah, they look like truffles coated in powdered sugar.
Yes, exactly. Which maybe, I don't know, maybe it was. Maybe they were like, maybe he was like, I don't actually like Turkish Delight. Can we make it something else? But make it look like it.
I can't choke that shit down even for the movie.
It looks appetizing in the movie, but I have tried it before and I know better.
See also Big Turk. Yes, I will. Wikipedia. Where we going?
What?
It's a brand of. It's a Nestle brand of Turkish Delight that they sold in Canada.
Of course.
Is it chocolate and then the middle is purple?
I don't know.
It's a candy bar. Oh wait, but it comes in minis too.
Is the outside like blue, white, and red?
Yes, I just sent a picture.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the Big Turk. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I found too.
Does that remind you of your childhood in the faraway lands of Canada?
Here's the little minis, and they have like a pinkish inside or something.
I bet those are much better than actual Turkish Delight.
Probably are. Fake Nestle Turkish Delight. Covered in chocolate.
Turkish Delight sounds like it's trying too hard.
It does. Like, it is delightful.
Take it.
Please try one.
Little poor Turk.
Little poor Persian boy.
Often sold in hexagonal boxes.
What? Hexagon? What? Why?
That's just weird. How it's done.
I was 10 in Canada and got a big Turk out of a vending machine and hated it. I remember that. Yep.
I don't even know where you could buy any here.
I just went to shopping. I was like, I gotta see these hexagonal boxes.
I mean, what I found was on Amazon, which, okay, yeah, you can get like basically anything on Amazon. But like, if I were to go to a store, because I wanted Turkish delight, I don't know where I would go.
Now I know that if I'm gonna buy real Turkish, they look like sushi.
Yeah, there were some like that. They looked like little sushi rolls, or almost like little what are those roll cakes called?
Yeah.
I don't remember what this is called. You know what I mean?
Oh God, it looks like there's teeth in it.
Teeth? Huh?
Ew, what?
Don't worry, like a Harry Potter Turkish delight.
Sorry, I had to doctor it up real quick.
Add more teeth to it. Oh.
Oh.
Mixed teeth Turkish delight. Oh my gosh, that looks.
It's nuts, but it looks like.
Yeah, but well, the ones in the back look better than the ones that are in the very front.
Yeah.
Like someone
chose those specific ones and photographed them.
Yeah, and decided to use that. One of them looks like an almond.
Or maybe a pistachio, the guy at the top left there.
One looks like, yeah, and then the two in the front look like maybe peanuts.
Peanuts, yeah.
I wouldn't eat any of it. I don't like nuts in sweet stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of these boxes aren't six-sided, and
come on, you said it comes in hexagons.
Yeah.
Extremely.
Okay, there's one. So now we know the traditional ones should. Oh, these are being sold on Walmart.
Let's get some.
Of course, Walmart would sell them.
Of course, it's Walmart. I kind of want to buy some now.
They're trying to compete with Amazon, and then we can have a video and put it on here, and we can taste test.
That reminds me, I was going to for Christmas get my parents like a caviar platter, because we all love sushi and stuff like that, but we've never like tried a caviar except for when we were kids. But now my parents are doing this stupid vegan thing, so they won't eat caviar. So now I don't have anybody to eat it with.
Just tell them it's vegan.
I'll just get it for me.
Vegan caviar.
I'll eat it with you.
Okay, we can try caviar together. I need someone else to.
I want to try it, but I hesitate I hesitate to, because I have a feeling I won't like it just purely based on texture. Like it has that goopy, almost like loogie like looking texture that's just gonna be.
Do you not like oysters?
I actually do love oysters. Love oysters. So that's why part of me is like, I could see myself liking it because of that, but at the same time, I don't know.
Well, if I splurge to get like a multi-$100 food, I'll let you guys do.
Yeah. Like that's a reason I don't like tomatoes is the like goopy parts of it. There's like weird, snotty, goopy, gross parts.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a big reason why I didn't like tomatoes for a long time.
I can't do it. Everything you can make tomatoes out of, though, amazing.
Went to the Flying Biscuit with Greg a couple weeks ago, and they had fried green tomatoes there with like a cashew and jalapeno relish with a little bit of goat cheese. Damn, they were the best fried green tomatoes I've ever had, and I am a big fan. If it's like on a menu somewhere, like I get it.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy, were they good. They're real small, but they're delicious.
That sounds really good.
Foodie.
I love food.
Thomas, what if we have caviar at the next role-playing game and we just elevate our role-playingness to the next level?
Let's do it.
I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm sure I would like them. I don't eat many foods I don't like.
Yeah?
Yeah, there's not a lot I don't like either. And I'm definitely willing to try it for sure. So
I will totally try it with you at the next game.
Don't just buy it yourself,
Let's do
though. We'll talk about it.
Yeah?
We should make it like almost like a fancy one.
You can get an expensive caviar, but I want to try
can.
like real caviar.
Yeah.
Yeah?
True caviar, which will of course be expensive. I'm curious.
Also,
I know I like the
do yourself
smelt.
a favor and don't watch videos of them harvesting it.
Definitely not going to do that. I'm good. It's like when people are like, watch how they treat chickens, and I'm like, I know it's not good. I don't need to see it.
I feel the same way. I know it's bad.
Know.
My parents or my mom will be like, do you know how much that there's a certain amount of pus that's allowed in milk? And I was like, good. They don't change a thing. I love it the way it is.
Yeah. You know what I've also heard? That there is legally only a certain amount of cockroach parts that they can allow in canned food. Or something like that. So okay. I'm still gonna eat.
Yep.
Yeah. They're
I've heard similar things.
Yeah. They're I have seen clips and stuff of chicken farms, and I'm like, I mean, it's gross. It's disgusting. I don't need to see more, but I'm also still gonna eat chicken.
Yeah. See, that's the kicker right there. Still gonna eat chicken. So
they're do you know what hot dogs are made out of? I'm like, yeah, I'm still gonna eat it.
I don't care.
Felt like I'm unaware.
Yeah, it's all the scraps. All the meat scraps left over. Hey, at least we're not wasting it, I guess, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Don't know what to do with it? Dog it.
They're probably already wasting a lot of other stuff, so I don't know. At least that's one they're not. Dog it. That's good.
Dog it. Foremost dog.
Got some feet and eyeballs, just push it all together. Now it's a hot dog.
Sorry. Feet and eyeballs.
Feet and eyeballs. I will say though, people, I mean, you can buy chicken feet at a Mexican grocery store though.
Oh yeah, I've had them at Chinese restaurants before. Yep.
Oh, that's fair too. Yeah, it's also in Chinese cuisine. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas, are you excited that I'm going to run the next role-playing game because you get to play? Yeah?
Yes.
You
I
like
love being my crazy character.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's Teddy, right? Teddy?
Teddy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Nice. I think I'm going to have to run 2 separate games because the NCR employee that came over, she was super pumped on it. She's like, I got to invite more people. I was like, whoa, sister. Pump the brakes. We're going to need to run 2 games. An NCR
I'm glad she
game.
had fun though, and she was excited about it. That's awesome.
Yeah, she did. She loved it, but she loved it too much, and then wanted to bring her friends.
Everybody.
Yeah, so she was like, "I'm gonna bring people from work," and I was like, "We can't have a 9-person game."
Could you imagine? It's there would be at least 2 people who are like, I'm not really doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Just over here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was definitely doing less than when it's just the 4 of us, For
did
sure.
Did you like it less or more since there was more people? How did you feel about that?
I don't know. I think that's kind of hard because I like both for different reasons, maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously less you at least get the opportunity to do more, which then can potentially get your character more experience, especially if you fail a lot.
That's true. That's true.
But on the other hand, I've just also very much, there were points where I was just like, I'm just enjoying watching everybody else sort of like do, like, Misha's like, I got my guns, and I got, you know.
Like, she's not gonna have guns for long. She's not gonna have guns for long.
But
I felt like she was too overpowered. I was like, good lord. She's like, and then I pull out my 9 shotguns. I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah. But I was also, I mean, I was enjoying like coming in here and there, but then just like seeing everybody else sort of do it too. So.
Yeah. Okay. I already have like the framework done for like the next one, and I think it's going to be a lot better than the first one because I'm putting more effort into it. So there's more puzzles this time.
The first one was awesome. That was so
I know.
well
I had a
put
great
together.
time with the first one.
Yeah. Like DM,
really?
like it's not easy to do something like that, and it's also not easy to do something like that and then get your players there and have them interact with the world in a way that like isn't stressful to you, because players will go and they'll do things and they'll focus on things that like you didn't intend for them to focus on.
Right.
So you'll have to like suddenly make it important.
Yep.
Right.
That definitely happened.
Great.
It happens.
Yeah, the first house that was covered in vines, everyone kept insisting on going to the upstairs, and I'm like, I don't know what's up there. Like, can you guys calm down? Let's go to the roof. And I'm like, I don't know what's on the roof. Like,
and then you
did
like
really good.
Kelly flies up there, and they're like, "Yeah, there's nothing up here." They're like, "All right, cool."
I was like, nothing up there. It's just a roof. Like,
roof and vines.
Move on. Yeah.
That's hilarious. It didn't really feel like it though. It didn't feel like it. You're like, I don't know, because that wasn't the plan.
Well, with this one, I was gonna write it all out and then actually try and sell it on that website, Drive Through RPG, that I showed you, Thomas. Remember how I showed you where other people like sell their little
That's kind
campaigns?
of cool.
So I was gonna like write it out, try and sell it, and then any proceeds would then go to the slut group, and we could like throw a small party with it or
sponsor
something.
us.
I thought that would be cool. So
we can use it for caviar.
Yeah. But it'll be
indeed.
Oh yes. We'll get so much money, and then it'll go to Thomas's caviar. It'll be amazing.
Thomas's caviar fund.
Yeah, Thomas's caviar fund.
Thomas likes expensive things.
Oh yes.
Expensive things are nice. Most
I
of the
love
time.
it. I love it. All right, cool. Well, I think that's like an hour, right?
Yeah, I think we started about now. Something like that.
Yeah.
Are we recording?
We have been recording the whole time.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember it starting at any point, so I was like,
my biggest regret is missing the episode.
The lost episode.
Yeah, the lost episode where it's Bo and there's a plate and Bo's like a baby dressed up and there's like
was it that one?
What a good one to miss though.
I can go get it. It's just right over there. He can make an appearance again.
Yes, it needs to, because it is the lost episode. It's the baby plate episode.
I wish I had a baby picture to show off. I don't.
I guess to be fair, it is not the original baby plate episode, but we can have episode 2 of
the
baby plate.
Look at the tie, such a grown boy.
So cute.
So studious.
This is one
with the handle. What is that?
What?
Yeah, what is it?
There's like something like sitting with it that has hands on. Yeah. Do you know what that is? Is it like a comb in a sheath?
That's a good question. Oh, you know what it is? It's a cell phone.
That's a cell phone?
This is the
or
antenna.
Like a cordless. Oh yeah, it has an antenna.
And then this is the phone. It's one of the big brick phones.
Because he's a businessman. He's got people to call.
He's probably like 1 here, so it would be like 1992.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then This is a briefcase back here, and it's probably hard to see, but that is the Wall Street Journal as well.
Such a business boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me see.
He's gonna make deals.
Deals, yeah. And then there's just like pens and like a pen and a pencil and this I almost said suitcase, briefcase. Yeah.
I love it.
I think he's actually, because this is just a trimmed version of the picture, obviously, because to fit the plate. But there's like more to the picture, and I think he's actually sitting in the briefcase, or and I think there is more stuff around him, but I can't remember what it is. I'd have to go find the picture. To be fair, you would think so, maybe, but to be fair, this made it in their like sort of like denominations magazine or whatever.
A religious periodical.
Yes, thank you. So did not make an appearance.
Okay.
That was not in there, but that would also be fitting.
Bo should have joined us for our Bible study group. We were reading from the Bible.
That's true. He would probably agree with you on
now on I'll try to find the like further allegory and stuff, because I love finding the Bible and things. So yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it, Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always super interesting. There's definitely
Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe is full of it.
Oh, it's chock full. And some of there's probably some that I like don't even necessarily pick up on.
Yeah, I'm sure there's stuff.
But there's a ton of obvious, like glaringly obvious ones as well. So
really,
yeah,
I haven't picked up on anything so far, and I'm like chapter 5, chapter 6. I haven't seen anything. The witch called Edmund like a deformed dwarf at one point. She was like, "Are you kind of biblical? Missing your beard? What happened to you?"
There will be more. Yeah, you'll start picking up on it. I think once kind of everybody gets into Narnia, and well, I guess at that point they should all be in Narnia. But once stuff starts going down, start happening, then you'll see more of it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited. That's cool. That's cool. All right, nice. All right, see you guys soon. Bye.
Make good choices.
Bye. Stay reading.
Make the best choices. Stay reading. Stay reading.